this is the story of one of my guests in the studio today. She's a woman who is one of our own, who has stepped out there, and now she has an international beauty brand that sells very well and is taking care of a lot of women, especially African women, and our hair needs. I'm talking about a woman who, at the age of 16, somehow was taught how to make nail polish and lipstick by her chemistry teacher because she was failing in class. Well, her parents didn't want her to go into the beauty industry. They wanted to see somebody in the medical field. And so, for years, she pursued that career, and she was a nurse. But after 13 years, her passion to pursue what she really wanted to do, that is to create something within the beauty industry, was bursting. And so she went out there and started it all. Today, she has a product that is a natural alcohol-free hair care brand with extreme detangling ability that infuses moisture into a woman's hair and helps the hair to stimulate and grow. Now, she's also using proceeds from her business to help homeless women and victims of domestic violence. So she's using beauty to reach out to homeless women and victims of domestic violence. But that's also because she herself is a survivor of domestic violence, and we'll be hearing about that story. But her company, Diva by Cindy, was the first natural hair care brand to open a retail store in a major airport, not even in Ghana, out there on the international front. Today, a survivor looking back, sharing her story. She's come home, she's in Ghana, she's in town actually attending the Global Women's Conference, but Women's Voice has the rare privilege of having her in our studios. My guest for today, sharing her story to inspire all of us women, especially young women, is Cindy, founder and creator of Diva by Cindy Hair Care Products. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on your program. I am so honored to be on this platform because this is what it's all about. Women uplifting women. Thank you for having me.
Tell me about why you're in Ghana, and then we'll show our viewers what you do, and we'll come back to talk some more.
So I came to Ghana for a Global Women's Conference, which speaks to entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs and youth about how they can start their own businesses, because women don't have that many resources to start companies, and oftentimes they lack the support and the know-how. So we came to lend our expertise that we've gained over the years in the States to them so we can help them and help further them along.
Right. It's interesting you mentioned that women struggle with coming up with their own businesses. But it's actually not because they don't have the ideas. The ideas are there. But transforming that into reality can be a challenge.
Yes, it can.
How do you get past that?
Yes, it can. I myself was denied bank loans because I was told I was a business risk when I started, because I never business risk, and everybody said you'll fail within 5 years. But what I'm here to tell women is, if you can dream it, you can do it. And it all starts with my 5 P's: prayer, passion, perseverance, persistence, and presence. If you pray about it, you have a passion, somewhere, somehow, some way, a way will be made. Even if it means you want to bake cakes or cookies and you start with a small batch, say, 2 dozen. You sell it, bring in that profit, make some more, and then continue turning it over and over until you get what you need.
Let me ask a follow-up. You talk about putting out that product, getting some return. What about if that first sale doesn't go well?
That's always our fear, isn't it? But no risk, no reward. If that first sale doesn't go well, you try again. Oftentimes we're so afraid to try. And that's where that's where the difficulty lies, is not trying. Because you never know, by selling your first batch, you may sell to someone who may say, oh, I want to invest in what you do. But by not stepping out on faith, you won't be able to accomplish it, and that's what I did.
I want to know more about your product, your hair product, and then we'll show our viewers the video.
Absolutely. So I had a teacher teach me how to make nail polish and lipstick.
We'll go back to the story. I just want to know about the product, the brand. We'll do that, and then we'll come back to how you started.
Wonderful. So basically, my product is a natural alcohol-free hair care product, which can be used on all hair types to stop shedding and breakage and stimulate hair growth. Because women of color shed a lot, we have issues with growth, and we also experience a lot of itching and dryness of our scalp. So to formulate something that will give us that boost, the added boost of growing our hair, getting our hair healthy and manageable, is what the product does.
Yeah. So now the product is Diva by Cindy, and we have a short clip that will show you what Cindy is doing out there on the international front. I wanted to show you this video. It's on there. We'll play it shortly so that you take a look, and then we'll come back to hear how it all began.
Our mission is to promote the growth of longer, healthier hair. In addition, we also use proceeds from the sale of our hair products to support victims of domestic violence.
As we are back with Cindy Tawia discussing how caring for your hair can help women in need.
Our products are used to help victims of domestic violence, and what we do is we donate $1 from the sale of our products to the different domestic violence shelters, and then we also have a day of beauty and healing for women who are living in different shelters.
What needs to be helped by Diva by Cindy was a day of beauty. We had hand massages, we had our hair done, and it said that you're not alone in this. There are people that care about you. It helped build self-esteem, and it made you feel like a new woman. This organization that Cindy has helps motivate you to go forward and to be positive and know that you matter.
We got a lot to talk about, so we got to get there. All right, let's talk about the book first of all.
Metamorphosis is overcoming adversity to find your true self, your true calling, your true passion. And that evolved for me from, I've had, grew up experiencing domestic violence, going into a field of nursing, which wasn't really my passion. It was more under pressure, doing it due to parental pressure, leaving that to open a salon, and then developing a hair care product, which has now become a vehicle for healing and helping victims of domestic violence by providing a day of beauty, day of healing once a year for them.
So quickly, let's talk about how your products and the salon, how you use those to give back to women who may be looking to take that next step.
We started a program called the Diva Project, bringing in 15 to 25 women from local shelters for a day of beauty, day of healing. And we started that process to help them transition back to society by giving them and restoring their self-esteem and their dignity.
It was a day of self-esteem building. It was life liberating and life changing.
I love you so much. You're so warm. You're so gentle. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
And I don't have many girlfriends, and I can count them on my hand. One.
And today on Women's Voice, the curator and creator and founder of Diva by Cindy Hair Care Products is with us. Of course, you know Cindy is originally a Ghanaian. She's been on Fox TV, the one you just saw there, on ABC, on CBS. Tell us about that particular one. There was an old woman that you were making up. Tell us about her story.
Flora Hawley's husband became angry with her and punched her with leather gloves. And she ended up in a shelter. She had to seek refuge from this man. And when she was in the shelter, we decided we wanted to bring in women from that particular shelter. We did their hair, we did their nails, we did their makeup to make them look and feel good. And when we finished, we had like a little prayer service, and then we started ministering to them. Her life was transformed because she thought nobody cared. But that act from one woman to another, beautifying another woman, is what changed her life. Now she has a job, she bought her own house, she has a transportation, she has a car, and her life has changed as a result of that beauty program that we gave her.
So now it's moved on from just being a product and selling your products to doing this, reaching out to women. Let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
Where at age 16 your chemistry teacher taught you how to make nail polish. You were in Achimota School.
Yes.
Tell us about the story. We want to start from the genesis.
Okay. So I was I was lacking in self-esteem, really. I was struggling with the subject. And you know, here in Ghana, our parents want us to have accounting, law, or medical professions. So they picked physics, chemistry, and biology, and I was struggling. The teacher came one day, he said, look, you're failing my class. I have to teach you a practical application. You are going to learn to love my subject. I thought, oh my goodness, how do I learn to love something I'm failing at? So he said, go around, pick up some old toothbrushes, some wax, come back, we'll make nail polish and lipstick. So we made the products, and he said, I want you to stay for the science fair. The science fair is always reserved for the most intelligent students. But here I was, the student at the bottom of the class, being asked to attend a prestigious event. I was standing there, a man in the military walked over and said, what is that? I froze. My teacher said, this is Cynthia. She's a cosmetologist and a chemist. That moment was when my passion was born. It's like it lit something in me, lit a fire. You know when a pilot light is on, but all of a sudden you turn it up and the flame is just roaring. I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I went home, I was excited, I shared it, and my father said, nope, you are not going there.
What do you think made this chemistry teacher in Achimota School years back identify that in you, that, you know, well, come and let's do this? This
chemistry teacher, Mr. Titiofe, is actually his name. He's actually now, yes, he's actually now the principal at SOS, and I'm hearing he's doing very well. But Mr. Ofe was patient. See, teaching is an anointing. It's not an appointment. You have to have it in your heart to be a teacher. And our teachers need to learn to be patient with the children. And that's what he was. He realized that this student can't learn with just assimilating the book knowledge, but needs hands-on training. That's what we have to identify, our vocational trained students from the ones that learn theory. And that's what he did. He identified the way that I'm supposed to be taught. And that's what changed my life.
Right, so you're excited about this whole thing that changed your life, being introduced as a cosmetologist.
Yes.
And then you went home and your dad said no.
No.
What happened next?
From that point on, I decided, okay, I'm going to do what he wants. So he sent me to school in England. I went to boarding school in England. From there, I went to nursing school because that was the path. Then I was told, get your bachelor's, you know, get your bachelor's, maybe get your master's, get your PhD in nursing. Nursing. And I used to watch the woman who was cleaning floors. I said, I wish I could even clean floors because at least she had some pride in what she was doing. And I was recruited to work at Bon Secours Hospital in America. Got there, I got married, I had children, I had everything. And in fact, they were paying me $48 an hour, which is a lot of money. And I just hated going to work. I was miserable, yes, because it wasn't, I felt like I was a fraud. Because, you know, it says in the Bible, what profited a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his own soul? You can't put a price tag on peace of mind, and you need true joy.
But let me ask one question, because you love people. What you're doing is reaching out to people, homeless women, women affected by domestic violence. So why couldn't you just do the nursing?
Because in nursing, you're put in a box. You're told what to do. With the homeless women, I'm going into wellness, preventative care. It's a lot of socialization, psychological, emotional. I can hug and love the people. With nursing, you have a certain time, give them their medication, bathe them, feed them, dress them, and get out of the room. It was more a clinical, confined space. But now I can actually use that love and all the joy that I have and pour into them and not feel like I'm being restricted. If I want to go and pick up a homeless woman and take her out for a day for lunch or take her out for beauty, I can do that without having my boss say, well, this is not within the confines of the man. And it was never my passion.
And yet you did that for 13 years.
13 agonizing years and hated it, every minute of it. And I remember one day, the day that I left, I prayed to God. I said, give me a sign. And I heard on the radio, change your focus and change your future. I said, okay, or listen to the sermon. So I said, God, when I go in, just tell me what I need to do. And I got there, doctor came and he said, nurse, I want these orders stat. And he slammed the chart on the table and I said, oh, that's it, I'm done. I went over, picked up a piece of paper, drafted my resignation, put it in my nurse manager's cubbyhole, and that was it. That was the day I left nursing.
Were your friends and family shocked?
Everybody was shocked. I called my husband and I said, I just quit my job. And I'm sure he was thinking, how are we going to pay our bills? What does this woman done? But I did it. And I felt something lift off my chest. I was free. I was free. Free to move forward. So I opened a hair salon. Yes.
So were you already planning to open this salon before?
No. I had thoughts in my mind. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go in the beauty business. And I thought, okay, maybe I should go and rent someone's salon. Maybe I should, maybe I could go and work with somebody
so you
with
were still
a salon.
Thinking around it?
Yes. Oh, I'd been thinking, you know, when something is conceived in you or put in you, and it's a passion, it never goes away. It's always there, always in your heart, always in the back of your mind. So when I left, I knew I was going to go into the beauty business. So I would drive up and down calling people. Can you rent a place? Do you have a place to rent? I'll go to the bank, wear my business suit to go and get a loan. I get there and they say, we deny you because you're a business risk. You're a nurse and you want to open a salon. You don't even have any experience. You're going to fail. I kept hearing no everywhere I went. I didn't know where I was going to get the money from. But somebody gave me a chance, this woman. She allowed me to come rent the unit that she had. And when I went to turn the light on with her, the code was 2469. My birthday is the 4th of February, 1969, and I knew God wanted me to be there. That's where I opened my first salon, and it was called Shades of You Hair and Beauty. So that's where the ministry started with the women, bringing in, we do hair Monday through Saturday, and then around the holidays or some weekends, we would bring the women in and then beautify them from the shelters. That's how I started, yes.
Interesting. Now let's talk about this aspect of you where you went through domestic violence.
Yes.
And that's hard to believe because you're so bubbly and so... What happened with that?
Well, domestic violence, people usually think is just a man beating on a woman, right? But domestic violence is also molestation, rape, okay? I was molested at the age of 5 by a stranger. Most people don't believe it. They look at me and they're like, oh my gosh. 5. And this is the first time, like, I've shared it with the women. I've shared it in different, areas. But this is the first time I'm actually sharing here that my mother was a diplomat. She traveled a lot. While she was away on travels, I was roaming the street and somebody, ended up molesting me. And then by age 13, I ended up in a situation in school that I went to. And one of the older seniors, they also, raped me. Then by age 19, I was in a physically abusive relationship. I also, growing up in the home that I grew up in, there was a lot of, my, parents, yes, Ghanaian parents beat their children, but I told my parents to this day, some of the beatings were in excess. When you are, it is in excess. When it's out of frustration rather than discipline, sometimes it can be in excess. And it does a lot of damage to a person's self-esteem. It really does. So that child who's grown up in certain circumstances is looking for love. All they're seeking is somebody love me, somebody accept me, somebody do something. And because of my experiences, I have great empathy for these women. How can I not? How can I not? Anything every woman has been through, I have been there. How can I not love them and help them heal? Because healing is deep. On my way here, on the plane, I was going through a lot of cleansing because this was going to be the first time I had come to Ghana in a long, long time. But a lot of my healing started here. And I'm here on the stage, and I tell women that when you don't speak about what happened to you, you will not heal. As you speak, you bring it out. Why? It's not because you're sharing your dirty laundry, but the reason why you can't heal from molestation or rape or any of those things is because the secret, when you're told do not tell, you lock that secret. And that secret makes you feel worse than anything else. So once you speak it, you're free. You set yourself free.
Did you feel any, or did you have any protection from the early abuse at 5 and then 13? Did you?
No. And fortunately, when I was 5...
You were in Ghana?
I was in Ghana. I was in Ghana. We were living in Tesano. I was in Ghana. And then the second one, I was in a secondary school in the Krapim region, in Dukrom. And it was just, it jars you, but nobody there to protect you. In fact, when I was 5, it was just, I was shocked. I remember just being bewildered, being shocked, being dazed, and growing up awkward, knowing that there was something wrong and something terrible had happened to me. But who do you tell?
Were you able to
Who's
tell?
going to believe you? I was able to tell years later. I told my sister, you know, I told people that were kind of close to me. As you grow up, you have girlfriends and you share certain things. But who's capable of helping you? Who's really capable of help? What do you do? Do you go to a therapist? You know, what do you do? But you see, God, I had to find God in the midst of all my hurt, all my darkness. And one of the things I want women to know, especially those women who are married, because there are a lot of women, I call them the walking wounded, who are walking around and have been through what I've been through, but they will mask it, they will cover it up and act like it doesn't exist. But the ways they hemorrhage is sometimes they become overachievers, sometimes they're underachievers, sometimes they lack self-esteem, and it all kind of comes out in your behavior, what you've been through. So what they need to do is, if they're married, tell your husband. If you can't trust him, else can you trust? Tell him, because most women are afraid that, oh, he's going to leave me, he's going to judge me. That's your past. That's your past. That will increase the intimacy. I'm not talking about sexual intimacy.
Right.
Intimacy, that connection that you have, because he's supposed to be your supporter, your protector, your background, your backbone. So share that, you know what, this is what happened to me. Maybe that's why you're snippy, that's why you snap, that's why maybe you cry at certain times, maybe that's why you're obsessed about your children. Then he'll understand you better. But we need to start speaking up and maybe having a women's group and talking to other women who've been through it, so you realize that you're not the only one. The shame is in keeping the secret. Once you speak it, you're free. You're free.
This is Women's Voice. We're talking to Cindy Terrier. She's founder of Diva by Cindy hair care products. Her products are all over in the United States, and also she's trying to reach out here in Ghana. She's back in the country after several years, and of course now finding her passion. She's sharing her story of a past of domestic violence with us, surviving it, and then to creating her own beauty brand that today is reaching out to the homeless and victims of domestic violence. This is Women's Voice. If you have a comment or a question for our guests, send it to the number 0245 780 116, 0245 780 116. Send us a text message or a WhatsApp message. The number is up on your screen. We are also live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll continue. Welcome back. This is Women's Voice. Today on the program, we're looking at surviving domestic violence to building an international beauty brand. My guest is Cindy Terrier, curator and founder of Diva by Cindy hair care products, joining us today in our studios. We're talking about how you came out of that whole space of abuse, but you did say that you endured some physical abuse for a number of years.
Absolutely. I was dating a guy. I was in my teens in London, and he was very charming. And usually people who are abusive, men who are very charming. They sweep you off your feet very quickly, and before you know it, you're immersed in this relationship. You're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. And then it was, where are you? Who are you with? And initially a lot of women think, oh, that's so nice, he loves me.
And he's obsessive and
now
jealous.
He's showing up at your front door, he's acting crazy. So this relationship became obsessive. And I remember one day he just asked me to see my address book. He saw my address book and he said, who is this person? His name, Kofi, whatever, who is this? And I said, oh, it's just a friend. We were drinking coffee, we were at a coffee shop. He took the hot coffee and pew, and right on the side of my face, it was burning, and it was. But the thing is, in public. But what happened is, when I felt the burn or the scalding, rather than say ow and think about myself, I started following him, apologizing, and that is one of the typical. Yes, because that's one of the classic symptoms of somebody who's been abused. They put others' needs before their own, because they're thinking they've done wrong, when that person is actually flipping that on them to make them feel the guilt. And I remember pursuing him. I'm sorry. And then it got to a point where he was talking of it, and the Holy Spirit said, what are you doing? Stop. You've been hurt here. You've been injured. and you're actually pursuing the person that injured you. And that was the moment where I thought, never again. No one is going to lay their hands on me ever. Not choking, not biting, no hitting, no nothing. And that was the moment. So I ended that relationship quickly. And you know what? When a woman finds her strength, if she's being abused and she finds her strength and the courage to leave, most of the time the abuser will find her and try to kill her or end it because they can't have her. Or he'll kind of regret and have remorse and try to get her back. He tried to get me back, but it was too late, and I had to leave that relationship.
But there are people who are stuck in this cycle of the manipulation like you're talking about.
Yes,
and they just can't leave. They still want people to sort of giving them some validation that, okay, this relationship is wrong, get out. But often it's difficult to find someone to actually tell you to leave that abusive relationship.
Well, the analogy of the dog that's tied to a tree, right? The dog is tied to the tree with a chain around its neck. Every time he tries to move, what happens? The chain chokes him. So when you take the chain off his neck, what's the dog going to do? He's still going to sit there because he's afraid that if he moves, that chain is going to choke him. So he's conditioned, or she's conditioned, to think that if you leave, it's like you're better off staying put than leaving. And that's what the situation is.
What about those who are in a lifelong committed relationship? Those who are married?
5 reasons to leave a marriage, ladies, because people are so afraid of having the word divorcee attached to their name.
Especially here within our society.
Yes, I say the 5 A's. Abuse, adultery, extreme forms of adultery, because sometimes he may have cheated once. Yes, the serial cheaters out there cheating with Mary Sue, you know, everybody in the community. Serial cheating, serial adultery, because that's really disrespecting and demeaning to that woman. So abuse, adultery, alcoholism, addiction, because a man could be on cocaine and, you know, be squandering the money and sinking you, and it's a spirit. Or abuse, adultery, addiction, and apathy. Apathy, when he just doesn't care. He doesn't even care if a car hits you and you die. You know, that, to me, are justifiable reasons, because every human being has the divine right to be happy and have peace. Every human being. Every human being. And I'm not condoning divorce. Right. I tell women, work on it. I have women who come crying to me, work on it. But if you're going to die as a result, and you can see him, he's beating you. I had a woman, her husband pulled a gun on her. Honey, the first time you pull a gun on him, that's it. I'm out. After I called him, I have to find a safe haven to go, because next time, that's it.
What about the excuse that, well, there's a whole family that has been built around this relationship? There are children involved here.
And our children are going to be scarred for the rest of their lives. And our sons are going to go out there and repeat the same cycle, because that's what they've seen. What are you doing to the children? Emotional abuse. You're also abusing them, because they see what's going on in the home and they know it's not right. And they're screaming, Daddy, stop. What is that doing to them? As a mother, we should be shielding them. You see how the mother hen protects the baby chicks? It kind of, you know, when somebody's coming, you have to shield them. So if it's extreme, then you have to leave. But you're worried about the stigma of the word divorce, and you're thinking nobody else will want you, because that's what society is telling you. Honey, you're a child of God. Shine bright and keep it moving. Shine bright. Get your strength in the Lord and keep it moving, because you will survive. So long as you have breath in your body, go out there and start afresh. But don't be afraid, because it could end up in consequences where either you die or your children die or something tragic happens. And like I said, I'm not condoning it, but in worst cases, being punched, kicked, being beaten black and blue, you know, you have to do something. You can't sit there and let it continue on.
From that point when one is frustrated or has issues of low self-esteem, or you can see clearly that this person has developed an anger problem, then we know that these are issues.
Exactly. The minute you start fearing for your life, that's it. Because marriage is an arrangement. It's a mutual respect. It's love and respect. You respect me, I respect you. It's a contract. So we have to love and respect each other and treat each other gently, you know? So if Christ loves the church, and we all of us, most of us here in Ghana are very spiritual, religious people, and we talk about Christ loving the church. Does Christ rape the church? Does Christ pillage and rob the church? No, he doesn't. Christ loves the church. So then we have to love our wives, nurture the women. If we nurture and love the women, guess what? We will have such strong cornerstones and foundations. And that's all we have to do. If you don't love her anymore, you know, just tell her, honey, let me tell you, I don't feel like this anymore. I need to get help for my issues. Okay, let's go get help. But punching, kicking, beating, the whole 9 yards is wrong.
But even if you walked out of that abusive relationship or you left, how do you go through the healing process?
The healing process starts with speaking about it. A lot of women in abuse are ashamed.
Yeah, who to
ashamed who to speak to. Oh my gosh, Gladys is going to tell the whole neighborhood that the lifestyle I've been living, it's about the perception. I'm living the lifestyle. I'm the big madame. I'm driving the Mercedes. Meanwhile, back home, you know, it's not, the situation is not so good. So it's about the perception. So first thing to do is speak. Find somebody you can, and it doesn't have, you can go to, if you go to your pastor and he's telling you to stay and he sees you black and blue, then you really need to consult with God. Because you can't go to a person who's also encouraging you to stay in a place where you are at your, you know, at death's door. So find somebody you can speak with. If you need me, call me. I have a toll-free number, you know. But find somebody who can comfort you, who you can speak and share. And try and start making your contingency plans as to where and what you need to do. Because if you stay in it, it never ends up well.
Another dimension of it is the lack of economic empowerment of women who are going through this kind of violence and abuse, or even children.
Yes.
The person who is caring for you is the person
who's a breadwinner.
The breadwinner.
The breadwinner.
person who is caring for you, you're living in his home, or...
Because we give so much control. We're like, here, honey, he takes care of the checkbook. He takes care of everything. Because we don't want to get in the process of doing things for ourselves, but we need to learn how to pay bills. We need to, if we have degrees, make sure that you still have a network, or you're networking with the people that you went to school with. So if you need a job, you can find a job. But when we cut everything off, when we need it, then we have a situation where we have to find something from scratch. And then we're afraid to leave because we don't have a backup. But we need to continue on and make plans for ourselves. It's him, me, and us. It's not just him and me. I've been married 24 years now. And people find it hard to believe. I'm almost 50. But I've been married 24 years to a wonderful man. He's very gentle, he's very kind, he's very loving, and very supportive. I say if the man had raised his hand to me, I'm like, that's it. I have to go, you know. It's not that it's easy, you work on it, but women have to start having that dialogue with themselves and say, if he is abusive, physically, emotionally, mentally, telling me I'm useless, telling me I'm no good, he won't even speak to the dog that way, but he speaks to me that way, then it's time to start having that conversation in your mind, in your heart, and with God, and advise yourself.
So you need to change the environment, you need to move out, you need to economically empower yourself. What else must you do on this journey?
A lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. With what I went through, I prayed a lot, I cried a lot. I found a place where I could have personal development, you know, going and seeking enlightenment, just looking for healing within myself. And like I said before I was coming, India Ari's music became my favorite music because she has such healing songs, such soulful songs, and I would listen and just sit there and meditate. People say, what's meditation? Sitting there just in silence and just listening to the voice within. God, what do you want me to do? Just to let go of all of that stuff. And it helps because sometimes we need that. We need that quiet time. You know, they call it the morning devotion. Now, most of the time, they'll pick up the phone, they call Gladys and be gossiping. Find the time to have that so you can start to find you. Because you lose you in a relationship and in a marriage. A lot of women lose themselves. Find you. And then you begin healing.
So when you're trying to get healing and you've lost all the self-esteem, how do you build it up? What do you do to build it up?
Okay. So that's where you find counseling. Beauty is the avenue that I use because we have shelters. In America, we have shelters. So when we started the Diva Project, we go there, we bring them to us, 25 women, and we give them a beauty makeover. We've helped over 450 women in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. And we want to do more. In fact, I would love to bring it to Ghana and do that. Go into the shelters and give them a day of beauty. Tell our coach, you're beautiful. You know, look at that smile. You can do it. You're going to be all right. You know, I want to bring that here so we can start healing the women. Women need to heal their sisters. Sisters need to heal each other.
Are sisters really there for each other?
Not always, because there's judgment. You know, that kind of thing. And then she's looking at that man, that same man that just beat that woman. She's thinking that maybe I can go take what she done left behind, because we try to compete with each other. But a few days ago at the conference, a woman said something very powerful. She said, instead of trying to compete with your sister, find out how you can compliment your sister. So we need to compliment instead of competing. When I saw you today, I said, honey, she's glamorous. Look at you. Oh my God, you're going, and you are. That's the truth. That is a spirit and a seed that's sown into you. Because spirit is a currency. We have to feed ourselves. Spirit. See your sister say, honey, you look good. And mean it from the heart. You start pouring into her. Even if she's going through something, she says, I mean something to someone. Somebody feels that I'm worthy. Therefore, let me look and see. Am I worthy? Yes, I am. Even with affirmations, looking and telling yourself, you know, I'm going to be all right. I'll heal. I'll be okay. Start visualizing and seeing yourself and seeing positivity around you.
There are people who completely shield themselves away from all this you're talking about.
Yes. Oh my God.
They're going through difficulty and they just block the whole world.
Yes.
Off.
Yes.
They won't open up. They won't smile. They won't be nice to anybody. They won't. They cut off all their friends. They stop talking to all their friends. They always look frowned.
Yes, yes, yes. And how can you heal from that? But it's a defense mechanism.
Okay.
It's a defense mechanism. See, with nursing, I also learned a lot about domestic violence and helping women heal with psychology. The frame of mind they're in is, if I can block them, then they won't know. If I can block them, then I can push them away from me. But they need love. Most of the time when I see women and I see somebody from, I was like, hey, how you doing? Come over here, give me a hug. And I remember a woman saying, why do you want to hug me? I said, come here, because you're lovable and you're my sister. Come here, let me give you a hug. And then she started warming up. Not everybody can do it the way I do.
Exactly.
But we need to start loosening up and letting go and not put up the facade, because the wall is pushing people away. People want to love you. People want to help you. So, of course, if you're there listening, come on now. Remove the barrier so you can be loved, because you're lovable.
This is Women's Voice, and we have some messages coming in. And this one says, hello, Selikem, nice program. I'd like to know what to do if you're being abused in a home where you're staying with your husband and in-laws.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that was coming.
So you don't talk about the kind of abuse, but I don't know.
Where the in-laws actually know what's going on. They're aware of it. And they're not helping you. That much I can feel that they are not helping you. Because if they were, you wouldn't be asking. They would actually have sought help for your situation. If you can't have your parents help you, then speak to, if you can find a physician, a doctor, a social worker, or somebody to help guide you out of the situation, because your in-laws are condoning the abuse. If they're in the home and they see what's happening, they're not helping you, then they're condoning it. They're looking the other way while it's happening. So you need to find a doctor, a social worker, somebody, a professional person, and seek counsel as to what you need to do.
It's good that you mentioned counseling, because this one, Abigail from Osu says
that's my daughter's name.
we don't have too many counseling offices here in Ghana, and the counselors that we have are expensive. Some of our pastors too are not actually interested in counseling you. They just want you to pray.
Yes.
So your comments on that?
Yes.
Pray away the problem.
Pray away the problem to go. And some of us are paying for prayer. We need to stop that too. Because we're paying for prayer and prophecy. We need to stop that. God speaks to all of us. You know you need to leave because you can hear it. Every fiber of your being is telling you, I need to leave. So in that instance, yes, you're praying, they're telling pray, but then you need to take action. A lot of people say, oh, I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord. Why are you waiting on the Lord? The Lord is waiting on you. Yes, there's a bigger destiny. There's something much bigger waiting for you. There's so much more waiting for you than an abusive relationship. And like I said, they can reach out to me, and I mean it. Email me, customer
so
service.
What's that? Because somebody's asking,
yes.
Can I get mommy's personal line?
Absolutely. They can email. Well, right now I have the, the website. They can email customer service at divabycindy.com.
Customer
service at divabycindy.com.
Divabycindy.com.
Yes, and it'll come directly to me.
Okay, so the email is customer service at divabycindy.com.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. But we'll put that out
again. Or they can go on the website www.divabycindy.com and send me a message.
www.divabycindy.com.
Yes.
So you can go there.
Yes, because I'm working with other women, and during the conference we met women who are also working with assault victims and so on. So that we can all come together as a coalition to help. Yes.
Right. Felikem, could you ask your guest how she managed to break through as an international brand? Okay. Right.
Okay. So, lack of self-esteem is real. I was hemorrhaging in my business. But what I realized was a lot of the times what stops us is our own fear. I went online. I applied through Walmart.com, got on Walmart.com. Then I got the courage to actually reach out to other stores. We started off in a salon. That's where I was selling my products. We started selling to other salons, and then we started selling to stores. So it was a step by step, and it's been 11 years. And gradually, it's gotten all over the place. In fact, now it's in the U.S. military. So anywhere there's a U.S. military base, from Saudi Arabia to Kuwait to Bahrain, anywhere there's a U.S. the products are actually there right now. But it was a process. It was a progression. If you want to achieve success quickly, I'm going to give you a quick tip.
Okay.
Get a notebook and write down what you want. Be specific about it, and then work towards it.
Let me ask a follow-up. Yes. For those who are not sure what they want, say they're multi-talented.
Yes.
And they're good at doing so many things. Or like you, they're very good nurse, lovely at taking care of people, and it's easy for them to believe, for people to believe that that's your area. And yet you have so many things you want to do. Where is the specificity?
Yeah, exactly. So you're creative. You have so many talents. You bake cakes, you decorate. Listen, and most of the time they're all working in alignment together. You bake cakes, you decorate, and then you're also a great event planner. Guess what? Take the event planner route. Why? Because those other two things come under that same umbrella. Okay? So there are women who say, well, I'm great at writing. I'm a great writer. I'm also good at, writing business plans. I'm also good at, writing articles. Okay, take that whole thing and you create a business out of it. Because women want to go in so many different directions with some of their passions. Your passion is something that if you were not to be paid for, or you weren't paid to do it, you would still do it anyway. Somebody wakes me up and says, Cindy, I want you to go shampoo someone's hair or whatever, and I'm not going to pay. I will jump up and go do it. That's my passion. But our purpose is the same. Every human being's purpose is the same. You know what it is? To find what you love and use it to make a difference in the life of somebody else. So I love women in beauty. I'm now using that to help someone else. That's all our purpose is, to come and make the world a better place than what you found it. And that's your purpose right here. Ministering to women, having this program, it's a big purpose. That's the purpose. The passion is women.
And what will happen when I say, okay, I don't think this is my fit?
Oh my gosh, it won't happen because you're itching. You'll be itching to do it. It's in you. It's all around you. That glory is all around you. That's what you were meant to do.
All right.
Yes.
I know one for, first of all, let's know when you're next in town, what you're doing.
Okay.
If there's an avenue for women to come, or what's happening with you next. Your future endeavors, and then a final message for women.
Wonderful. So tomorrow we'll be at the Zen Garden at, is it Tessano? Yes, Zen Garden, Tessano. 9 to 5, we'll be giving away free samples. We'll be doing hair care demonstrations. Ms. Selikim just told me something about something they're doing in December, so I'm going to get the details for that. In the meantime, we're about to release something really major at Baltimore Washington Airport, where I had a retail store, but we're now going to a digital, more of automated platform with vending machines. So that's what's next, what's big, what's new, what's exciting, and it's never been done before. And people always say, aren't you afraid somebody's going to copy you? No, we all know who Neil Armstrong is. He was the first man on the moon. So they'll all remember who Miss Cindy is. She was the first person in the airport. So, you want final remarks for people, women, ladies? Learn to love yourself. I know that sometimes it's hard, but 5 P's: prayer, passion, perseverance, persistence, presence, and positivity. You can't learn to love you. You can't learn to love others unless you learn to love you. So just go out there and radiate positive energy. Find something that you can do to nurture yourself. Pray, meditate, find quiet time. Even if you have children, find quiet time so you can find who you are and find your strength, because we're very strong as women, especially African women. And I am so grateful to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you too so much. Maybe you might want to mention your email address and then your website again.
You can reach me on divabycindy.com. If you want to know about what we do, it's called the divaproject.org. That's the website. And you can email me on customer service at divabycindy.com. I have a phone number that I'm not sure if it'll dial internationally, but try it. It's 1-800-929-4057. 1-800-929-4057.
189.
1-800. 929. 4057.
57.
Yes.
So those who couldn't get that. Thank you so much, Cindy, for coming by.
Oh, thank you, beauty. Glamulous.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
So we've been talking to Cindy Terrier, of course. She's curator and founder of Diva by Cindy hair care products, making big waves internationally in the U.S. And, of course, she's bringing it to Ghana. Tomorrow, she'll be at the Zen Garden at Tessano, and there will be lots of activities centered around women and beauty. This is Women's Voice. We're wrapping up. Before we go, there's an inspirational quote from Pele, Brazilian athlete, and it says, "Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing and learning to do." Unquote. My name is Salike Makolache. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank my production team, Louisa Sari-Boating, John Amemo, the director, the technical crew, the makeup artists, the graphics designers, camera, and the entire crew here at GBC. We'll be right back tomorrow. Enjoy.